Howdy folks, welcome back to another Bad 66 Chevelle video here. This is kind of a sad video a little bit, but long story short, I had a little fender bender in my truck here. Ended up getting into a little fender bender. I was actually coming home and long story short, is a four-way intersection, and it was dark outside, and of course these old headlights on the front, they're not very bright. These old halogen lights, they're not like today's cars where they're real bright. But long story short, it was in a real wooded area. Then I come up at a four-way section and there's a stop sign there. Well, long story short, I didn't see the stop sign until it was a little bit too late. Nobody was coming, thank God. And I had slammed on my brakes down there, hit my brakes. And when I did that, the whole back of my truck fishtailed. And when it fishtailed, the whole front of my truck ended up into a ditch. And there was a stop sign, and the stop sign was pretty much right all through here. Of all things. I got lucky though. It didn't tear this door up. I don't know. It might have messed the hinges up a little bit. But somehow it didn't crush this door in at all. So all this is good. Just got my fender, and it may have gotten the hinges a little bit, but I'll have to look at them. But the reason why it crushed it in really good down there, especially at the bottom, is ain't a whole lot of sheet metal there is already rotted out to begin with, so I kind of crushed it in. Of course, you can see the rot up in there, but long story short, and that's what happened there. I wasn't real familiar with the area, and I had it's a little too late when I seen the stop sign and slammed my brakes on and fishtailed. The whole truck did about a 180, and as I was going, I was getting ready to make a left. There's a four-way section. He had this road, or a three-way section, excuse me, a three-way section. I was going this way. You go left, you go right. This is a stop sign right in here. Well, as I was coming along, I didn't see the sign in time because I wasn't real familiar with the area, and I wasn't going that fast. I was only going like 35, 40 at tops, which, you know, on that road, that's the speed limit anyway, is 45. But long story short, when I was coming down, I seen the stop sign, so that's when I slammed my brakes. And when I slammed my brakes, the whole truck pretty much did a 180 and then landed into the ditch. And the stop sign was right here, and the driver's side hit the stop sign, and the whole front of my truck was down the ditch. That's basically what happened. But didn't get hurt or nothing like that. I mean, it was, nobody wasn't even there. Nobody was even coming. But kind of unfortunate here. Bad part about it is I just had a wreck back in 2016. But I mean, the fender I'm not so worried about. The fender was rotted all to pieces at the bottom anyway. If it wouldn't been so rotted out, it probably wouldn't have crushed it in that far. But because the cab on this truck is nowhere near perfect. It's rotted all to pieces anyway. I mean, you can see some of the rot areas right there coming out. But they actually messed that brace up a little bit. See, that brace is all rotted to pieces. So there at the bottom of the fender there, and the inner fender. So it's not a whole lot there anyway, so that's why I pushed it in so far. But pretty much just swung around and hit that stop sign. But I got really lucky though. The cop was really nice after I got my truck out, and we were able to straighten the sign up, so I got lucky on that. Didn't get no ticket. He was really, really nice on that, so that was really lucky. But there's a shame, you know, when you're not familiar with the area, and got to pay a little bit better attention. But I wasn't really that familiar, and kind of in a real wooded location. So, long story short, I just gotta pay a little bit better attention, because basically where this truck is sitting now, where that little intersection is there, that's about the time where I had seen the sign. And of course I was going 35, 40, and that's the speed limit through there is 45 anyway. I was actually going under the speed limit, but from where the back of this truck is to where, if it was a sign right there, that was the distance in that particular area. So that's not a whole lot of room to stop. I'm just glad nobody was coming, and it was real late at night too. But anyway, that's what happened there. So I was able to get the door to shut, but when you go to open it, of course it's hitting right here, because when you open it, it'll come out and it'll hit this fender here. So I'm hoping this door, I'm pretty sure I can save. It busted my mirror off. I took my mirror off. But there's a piece of glass. I could probably fix that mirror and get another piece of glass or something like that. But yeah, break my glass in the mirror and crushed that fender in there. I don't know how. It was dark outside. I thought for sure it crushed this door in here at this crease, but no, it didn't. Got really lucky on that. I don't know how it didn't. It's just pretty crazy the way it did it. Just when it coming that way, it fishtailed and swung around, and the driver's side hit the sign. It's pretty crazy how it swung around and did it. I was hoping I'd saved it because I had overcorrected it, but I checked it out, and I actually drove it home after they pulled it out. But I gotta figure out something's up with this column, because now I don't know if this one when it happened, I might have gripped a little bit harder on the steering wheel, just kind of being natural, just grabbing on, holding on. But something with the steering wheel is not right, because you can pull it back now. If you look down in here. So I don't know what that is. Something's not right. Now I was looking down at the steering column here, and nothing's messed up in there. So I don't know. I'll have to figure that out. It didn't hurt nothing. The truck still drives fine. It's not out of alignment or nothing. It didn't mess anything up on that end. It still drives the way it used to drive. It's just that something's up with that steering wheel. I'm not sure. I've looked it all over. I don't see nothing broke or nothing underneath. And it's tight at the joint. But I don't know. I'll figure something out. Maybe the only thing I can figure is it's a spring in there. It's a nut. And I don't know if maybe when it hit, maybe it knocked that nut loose or something. But I don't know. Yeah, long story short, I have to get another fender for it, unfortunately. Bad part about it is that fender was fixable. All it needed was his bottom cut out and replaced. That's a shame, because that was a perfectly straight fender until all this. I was actually just going to try and save it eventually and cut the bottom out and just replace just that bottom, because that was the original GM fender, and that's a nice original GM door, and that aftermarket stuff don't fit worth anything. So I'm hoping it didn't screw up my hinges. It's all out of whack now. You can see it's top of the door is popped out.